I just realized the stream was muted. the, stream was, the stream was muted for like the second minute, the 3 minutes of the stream. Yo, can anyone hear the Discord? Bro, I should have fixed this before. It's so. Look, man, in my defense. Hold on, let me fix it. Fuck. Hold on. Audio output capture.
You dumbass.
We have like
Hey, by the way, I have gone to different servers and promoted scenario battle. So like, hey, it's me, Tempo, the motherfucker that told you to watch this. No problem, by the way. Yeah, silence, silence.
Can
because
anyone hear
I'm
us? I think I fixed it.
Hell, let me go into your stream, dumbass.
Come on, man, don't hate on me. I just realized the stream was muted.
Oh, you finally fixed it. You finally fixed it.
fuck.
It's fixed.
Anyway, so like generally, hello everyone, welcome to this stream. We finally fixed our goddamn problem because that was a goddamn idiot.
Yeah, and I did my whole introduction.
Throwing
and-
whatever
no.
humors that are using their universes and just for some reason muted us,
Static.
muted the stream.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Okay, shut up. My turn. I have the talking
Anyway,
stick.
we're doing
Hello.
Order
Talking
System
stick.
today.
I'm having flash.
Hello, I am Tempo. If you're on the stream, you either just stumbled upon it looking for Souls Death Battle matchups cast. Sorry, this is the
The scenario
bootleg
battles.
version of that.
A lot of
Anyways-
people
You know what we're talking about. We are completely different.
Bro,
This
we
is
make
not
fight
nothing
scripts.
to
This
do
is
with-
that's literally different. They debate on stuff.
Yeah,
We make scripts.
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, and the other part of people that are here, I have invited from the Discord servers. So hi.
I don't
Anyways,
think anyone
today-
went there. I don't think anyone from the Bean server joined.
They'll join. Anyways.
Yes, Cowboy Reed.
Hello, welcome to Scenario Battle. Today we are discussing and writing Ori versus the Knight from Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Tree and Will of the Wisp and whatever the fuck. Something to add? Something to add?
Who's gonna speak?
Dude, I'm not going to.
You said you were
I
gonna
guess
talk most of the
me.
time.
Yeah, I am because I actually know about these
He's
fucking
talking,
characters.
I'm writing, Cowboy to fair.
Bro, I make the fight, alright. You give me like the abilities and stuff, the attack names, and I'll like think of something. With my imagination. And there goes
Who
Carmack.
left?
There goes Tempo. Tempo's gone.
No, Michael, don't.
Alright. Now then. I will be talking about oh, it's FNFN. I will be talking about how the fight would start. Hear me out. Did Carmack die? He's dead.
No,
I don't.
I just heard
You are
myself.
silent. Anyways, how the fight would start is this. Ori, this is the template. Ori would stumble upon the hollowness. Hollowness after exploring underground. Underground. Welcome back, Tempo. Where have you been?
Yo, I'm back. Technical
I'm not-
issues. Anyways, we can actually
Yo, where the fight
start.
scenes? We're establishing that.
Okay. Okay, so before we start like writing all of that, a little background of both characters. The knight, a vessel that was casted into an abyss with his siblings. He crawled back. He got out of Hollownest, and he came back into Hollownest for no reason. Then he learned that his big brother got infected by some big moth called the Radiant, came to him and sealed them off. And Oh, by the way, spoilers for both games. I feel like I should say that. Anyways, Ori was an orphan that was separated from his family. He got a
Orphan.
family and that was the first game. The second game, he got an owl brother that he went missing. He looked for him. The forest he lived in died, but then he sacrificed himself to become its new life source, and that made me genuinely cry. And that's the second game.
Interesting.
Well, we can.
What about
So
his?
is
We can-
Ori dead?
What?
No, technically, I don't
Is
think he's
Ori
dead.
dead?
I don't think so. I think he just became a tree.
No. Yeah, basically. Well, anyways, let's start with abilities, blah blah blah. Everyone knows how
Okay,
it goes.
first, Tempo.
Uh,
Is it accurate for Ori to stumble upon the Hollow Nest?
Not that hollowness. It's not like a thing. It's a place.
Exactly.
And first off, we have to address the scale issue. You see, Ori is like I honestly to God I don't know what Ori is.
Equalized height.
Well, yeah, with equalized height,
Night
it's pretty.
solos.
Okay, but I feel like it would be more likely for the knight stumble upon Ori than to Ori to stumble upon knight, because there's literally no reason for Ori to go to Hollowness. There's no one he'll like find there, but the knight just wanders. He will sometimes find Ori. So this is how the fight will start.
Where does the fight take place? That's the big
Well,
question.
well,
Honestly, I would just imagine Ori just getting curious and falling into Hollow Nest.
So the fight would take place in Newen, the big fuck off forest that Ori is from. Hollow Nest, we can't
The
really
screen.
use it because
Screen falls into
I
the
don't
forest.
really.
Forest. Oh,
Yeah,
the forest.
Newen just makes the most sense out of all of the things, you know. Okay, now I will explain some of their skills, abilities, and weapons, starting with the knight. Now, I have this on the back of my hand, I don't even need to look at anything. The knight's primary weapon is a nail, not a sword. Do not say it's a sword, it's a nail.
It's a nail.
The
It's
nail
not a
is,
sword.
I mean, it's... If you want to go technical, it is a sword, but
Yes.
it's also a nail. Anyways,
What's the
the
difference?
nail has... The difference is it's a nail and not a sword!
Okay, but
the difference is Tempo just doesn't want to admit it's practically a sword.
The difference is this is my favorite game of all time, and I will literally stand by it. Anyways, the nail. Okay, the nail is the knight's primary weapon that he uses to swing around, and when he swings an enemy, he gains soul. Soul doesn't work in a Hollow Knight like in most games. It is like you hit it and the enemy dies. You gain soul, so you can in your gauge bar get the soul, and with the soul you either heal your health points, which in this fight will be healing himself,
Or cast magic.
or cast magic,
so
or
you guys do these
spells.
chat
There,
things live. Someone asked
there
that
are
question.
Okay, Tempo, acknowledge the question.
what did they ask?
So you guys do these chat things live?
Maybe.
Hi, Static.
Static, aren't you in the server?
He isn't.
No.
He isn't. I
Whoa.
thought he joined.
I should invite this man real quick.
We
Well,
can't.
too late.
We might leak the server.
Shut up. Anyways, Soul can
Static will
either
invite you later.
yes, Static. Anyways, the soul can either heal you or cast spells.
So basically,
The-
mana.
Basically, and the
Alright.
free spell that the knight has is a big fuck of fireball descending down. That when he jumps or is on an elevated space, like he's falling down, he can just like like thunder, just snap onto the ground and just cause a big explosion that gives him invincibility frames. And Abyss Shriek that just makes a giant cloud of, I don't know how to call it, but I feel like souls above him that it just does a big explosion. Those are his primary spells. But that's not the end of his abilities. He also has
Really good question. Do these have any effect on the soul, or they just attack?
there are
Or
just
do
attacks. The knight has
Okay.
no soul. He's empty. The soul is very weird with it, but like the soul is like his mana. It's not his actual soul. It is weird, but in Hollow Knight it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yes. Well, that's about it for his soul. Except for healing and casting insert spells I just mentioned, he doesn't do anything with it. So let's keep on moving to his other abilities.
Well, what about Ori?
Well, I thought we will take like one character at a time,
All right.
like with
Yeah.
everything. Okay, now let's his other things. The cloak that allows him to dash for better mobility. That's about it. The crystal heart that allows him to charge up and dash infinitely until he stops or hits a wall. It's pretty fast, but it isn't like infinite speed or other bullshit. And the final ability is Isma's Tear, that is pretty useless in this fight because it allows him to swim in water. Not in water, but in acid. But I don't think there's any acid in UN, so I feel like that's pretty useless. And that's about it for his abilities. And now for skills. Well, he is pretty damn skilled for something that has nothing inside of it. For the first part, he defeated 3 masters of not martial arts, but like swordsmanship. He defeated Master Shio. I don't remember their name. I'm sorry. I love Hollow Knight, but I genuinely cannot remember for the life of me all of them. I'm sorry. But he defeated all of them, and they were very skilled, very old masters of their crafts. So that we have already that, and he defeated their master. So like he's very skilled. He defeated multiple enemies with different fighting styles, like Hornet, who just has this quick agility style type of fighting. Sly that has a giant sword, and he just still beat him. And the Pure Vessel. Again, spoilers for Hollow Knight. The Pure. You remember that brother, the big brother that got infected by Radiance I talked about. The Pure Vessel is like the brother in his prime. Like no infection, no nothing, no bullshit. He is like the perfect warrior, and the knight managed to beat him. And of course, we have the Radiance, which is basically a moth god. Shoots light beams, everything. It is pretty. The knight is very skilled with his weapon and his overall ability.
Anyway, who wins?
What?
Who wins?
Well, it's Cormac. It's a much more complicated question because I've seen your like list of like who wins, and the knight low diffing is an actual crime. I will explain why very shortly. Anyways, moving on to Ori. So first of all, he with his weapons. It's a strange case with Ori because normally he doesn't have any weapon, but
Wait, what?
he gains them. Okay, you let me explain because it's kind of weird.
All right.
But he,
I'll let you
like,
explain.
you know, this light energy around Ori that like covers him. Like you can upgrade in the game to make hammers, arrows, swords. He has a bunch of different weapons.
Like that one mace.
He can also
mace-like weapon.
and
Like I remember seeing
what?
like a gameplay where he like it looks like a big rock, kind of like a mace type thing, smashed through his enemies.
Like I said, he has a sword, a hammer, a bow, and a shuriken, and like boomerang, and a fire projectile, spikes, and an explosive spear. He has a bunch of shit, and that he can
Yeah,
pretty much. That he
yeah, like
can,
we saw a video of his weapons.
yes.
Yeah, we saw a video of his weapons.
Yes, they are standard. Because he can just like okay, well I have to like kind of explain the gameplay. So like you can have 3 weapons at a time, but if you want different weapons, you need to swap them in the menu. I feel like it should be allowed to for him to use his full arsenal. That should be standard. It also allows for a better fight, so I don't care. Anyways, as I said, he has a bunch of this shit, and he is pretty skilled. He can swim, burrow, glide, climb, and even jump off enemies in the air, which is like pretty impressive. And he's way more agile and like harder to hit than the knight, which makes sense. And for his abilities, well, in Ori 1, goodbye Cormac, I guess. And hello Cormac. And he had this he had this ball of light that was your main attack source, but he loses it in the end of the first game. And as I said, he gets all of these crazy, wacky weapons and abilities in the second game. So yeah, his main like
How
bread
did he
and
lose the ball of light?
Someone said.
How did he lose?
Someone said Knight has debatable universal feat and FDL speed.
Okay, yes, we will get to that. Trust me. I know you guys want to rush everything, but if you want a good script, you need to listen to me.
That's debatable.
Shut up. I'm the fact I'm the only one talking is okay. We'll talk after this, Mr. Cowboy.
I thought that was funny to say.
Okay, anyways. So the knight's bread and butter is his nail and his spells, and Ori's bread and butter is his weapons and his agility. This is pretty much it for their weapons and skills and abilities and such. Now, as the comment said, we get to the scaling and feats, starting with Mr. Knight himself. Oh boy, where do we start? So, before we get to the universal, multiversal bullshit, let's start with the Knight. The Knight himself is, as Cormac said, with scaled up, should be around building level in strength. With him shattering a bunch of giant walls and different locked doors with his, and I want to say, unupgraded mail alone at the start of the game, you destroy a giant wall with like a few hits. So yeah, with all of the feats that Knight has done and with all the enemies he has fought in strength, he should be building level in both strength and durability. And in speed, and again, you will get to the big stuff later. He doesn't really have any big speed feats. The best he has is, as I mentioned before, the Crystal Heart, which can propel you forward as long as you want until you hit a wall or you stop yourself. So that will probably not give him a big advantage since you have to like wait a second before you can like get out of it. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. The universal, multiversal MFTL scaling. Oh boy. So, where does it come from? Well, in the Godhome DLC, at the end of Pantheon of Hollowness, when the knight defeats the Radiants,
I don't
the
mean
big
to
boy
interrupt,
Radiants.
but someone said, do you consider Pantheons as feats?
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we technically kind of need to, because like the knight goes through these challenges. Like there isn't a really like a thing that it's like a dream or anything. Like if you Dream Nail Hornet in her fight against you, she will straight up say that you are fighting her. Like she knows that she is there. So I feel like that is the most understandable that we counted. Okay, back to the point. After you defeat the Radiants, you go back into the shadows and you become the Shade Lord. The Shade Lord absolutely destroys the Radiants and destroys the God Home with himself. And this is where the universal multiversal shit comes in. Him destroying the God Home is supposed to be infinite, which would grant him universal scaling. Now, first of all, I would like to say this is not a multiversal feat. There's no say that there are multiple worlds or universes or anything in the God Home. The most proof out of this is when you enter the God Seeker's mind, you will there's a rare chance you'll go into a different place, but that isn't proof that it's this could be a different place, hundreds of thousands of miles away from God Home. So, destroying the God Home and killing the God Seeker gives him his universal scaling. And now for the MFTL stuff. Well, this one is pretty short and dry. It's dodging the Radiance's beam lights. And we know it's dodging because, and we know it's beam because the Radiance is literally the fucking sun. And also literally Goddess of Light shit. Yeah, I feel like the MFTL, I feel like FTL is the lowest ball you can go for the night, but I feel like MFTL is viable. So that
Anyway.
is all of the scaling for the night. Now we have Ori. Now you remember Newen, that big forest that I have talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have Newen. So, Newen itself. Okay, so this can get a little bit fucky-wucky. So get prepared. So at the end of Ori 2, an owl made out of bones takes all of the energy out of Newen. And pretty much Newen is way bigger than Hollowness. And Ori manages to defeat that owl and be straight up stronger than it. And then he sacrifices himself and powers Newen again. And this pretty much puts Ori by Cormac at higher than anything the knight can do physically, because the knight has at the best building. Ori has straight up town level strength and durability. And with speed, we again have some dodging lasers from different boss fights. So I feel like speed, they should be around the same speed. Now here,
The stat chart.
what?
You know the stat chart you sent to me?
Oh, yep, absolutely.
Does it just give the viewer a better representation of the stack?
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
that.
And enjoy all of that. Building level, defeated False Knight, destroyed God Home, dodging lasers, blah 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 blah. Yeah, all of that.
Right, does Cowboy keep this on screen? Just put this on screen. Did you make one for Ori?
Hold on.
I did not, but I don't need to. Because before we get to anything, we have to talk about. We have already talked about their different disadvantages, advantages against each other, all of their win cons. Well, we haven't talked about win cons yet, but we will get there. But after talking about their skills, feats, scaling, weapons, all of that, we have to get to the climax that will start with one weapon of the knight's arsenal, the Dream Nail. The Dream Nail allows the knight to travel to someone's mind. So it could travel to Ori's. And now, yeah, Ori has not dealt with any mind shenanigans in his games. But Now here is the debatable part. I feel like whatever you want here is like 50-50. So, in Ori's mind, he could like transform into Shade Lord and try to like completely like in God Home corrupt Ori. But as I said earlier, with like the Niwen being completely bigger than all of Hollowness and Ori powering it, Ori can straight up overpower Shade Lord if you don't give him like here's like the debatable part of it. You either the Shade Lord completely takes over Ori's mind and that gives the knight the win, or Ori just overpowers him and like the light's just gone, and this gives Ori the win. This is why this matchup is extremely debatable and extremely good too. But the problem with the Dream Nail is you have to stand still to even like hit it, and Ori is very fast, very agile, and it will not let himself be on the ground for even a second.
Just have Ori be tired.
Yes. So the
Like you
best
could do a dash scene where there's like all dashing, and then that's how like, and that's so like the infinite dash that you brought up.
Yep.
Have like Ori try and race against that, and then
Yes.
then
But I feel
Ori
like the
gets
best.
tired, and then generally that's what gives Hollow or the Knight the hit
Yeah.
for that sequence actually.
That would probably be the best option, or the knight could use one of his charms. By the way, I am not including charms into this or any other like power up because like that is because any of them could be equipped and you can't have all of the charms all at once. So I feel like that's the most like understandable.
So we're
Anyway.
not including power ups.
No. Well, if you count, but we aren't counting Shade Lord as a power up. It's more of a transformation than a power up. Okay, now with all of the groundworks laid out, how can they kill each other? Well, let's start with the Knight's win cons. First of all, physically, he is way weaker. He has some kill options, like his spells that could definitely put some good damage on Ori. And, well, you remember all of these masters that I talked about that the knight defeated? He also learns their art. He can spin, he can dash, and he can have a giant slash, basically. These do crazy damage, and they could also harm Ori. But they won't do a lot like the damage you think they would do, because again, Ori physically and endurability-wise is way stronger than the knight. But the knight is okay. Again, they are pretty much equal in speed, both dodging lasers. But I'm good to give the knight the benefit of the doubt to basically just be a little faster. So yeah, let's give him that. And overall, he has better abilities, weapons, and hacks than Ori. Like all of his spells, all of his techniques, and all of that should just like overwhelm over time Ori. And Ori himself. Again, way stronger than Knight, way more durable. Again, can be slower, can be faster, depending how you buy it. Again, I'm giving the Knight the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying he is faster. And with weapons, well, while Ori is like good at multiple different weapons, the Knight is like a complete master of the nail. Again, he defeated the Pure Vessel, he defeated the Radiance, and he defeated all of these like extremely skilled opponents. So he should take skill and weapons, even though Ori has more of them. And again, Ori's hacks mostly rely on his weapons. And again, but that doesn't mean the knight is like completely safe. Or again, as I said, Ori has a spear, Ori has bows. He has a lot of different like ranged options for the knight that he can just outrange him with. And again, the knight isn't completely like hopeless against Ori because he has the Shade Dash, which gives him a small time of being invincible while in the dash, and Descending Dark, which also gives him invincibility. And so I have pretty much gone over every scaling part, every feat, every ability they could possibly use. Oh my god, my throat hurts. So, do you have anything to add to this, Cowboy?
Nothing.
Well, now let's start with who would actually fucking win. And Cormac is writing the script. I want to really
Hold up.
follow
I'm
of
also
what
writing
he's.
the script.
Oh shit. Well, I'm not looking at the script,
Right.
so I'll just go off how I think the fight would go over. So Ori would find the knight pondering in Niwa, and they would start fighting. You know, Ori would trade blows with the knight hitting him with the nail and gaining soul from it, Ori hitting him with his sword, his hammer, and then jumping back to
Oh, wait, hold
uh,
on, hold on.
air.
Why does Ori
Yeah.
wanna like kill the knight in the first place? I need like, like I mean they just found
Okay,
him.
yeah.
That it feels like
Well,
off character.
yes, Ori is like pretty tame, but like you have to understand, the knight is like there's nothing there in his head. He doesn't attack every single person on sight. But I feel like if you really want like a start to a battle, I feel like it would be a misunderstanding that like Ori would go to look for his step brother, and he would find the knight helping him. Well, not helping him, he would just find him staring at him because he has no emotions, and think he was about to hurt him. So that would engage the fight.
What's the name of the stepbrother?
Ori, well, Ori and
Small bird.
Wisp. I think Wisp. I'm not too sure. I completely forgot. Okay, yeah, you come into this not prepared. Dude, give me a break. Okay, I don't remember everything. Anyways, that would engage the fight.
Only
And
for
now,
us. Only for our shining light. Shining light.
anyways, okay.
Fires at him.
Well,
Dodging the attack. Okay.
can I speak now?
Yeah.
Well, after the fight engages, they again trade blows. The knight gets sold, or he gets some hits of his own. And the knight starts like showering him with different spells and stuff. He keeps like quickly dodging out of Ori's attacks.
Yo, someone
But
asked.
you know,
Someone asked
Ori's
a question in the live chat. Here's the thing. Most, if not all, of Knight's enemies were either dumb or mindless.
yeah, you are right. Most of them were dumb and mindless. Some of them were just fucking malicious. But yeah, like 90% of the enemies in the game are dumb and mindless. But it's difficult to like think of like a situation that like will work with a character that has like a lot of emotion and cares about their family versus a character that shows zero emotion to absolutely everything and like has just like basic common sense of like what's happening around them. Like who's evil, who's good, who's good. So again, I am like trying to think, okay? Uh, hmm. Okay, I got nothing. I don't know how to make the knight and Ori like fight except if it's like okay. Before you Actually, you're kind of wrong on random commenter I didn't even see. Because I didn't say the knight wanted to like hit. What was his name again? Cowboy.
Judge Mundner.
I will just call him Owl. He didn't want to hit Owl. He just stared at him as like he got up, and Ori thought he was going to kill him. Like, as I said, the knight is like void, like literally void. He has nothing in his head. He won't just. He didn't want to try attack him, but it just looked like
his
it
patience should be
for
considered
Ori.
an ability.
What should be considered an ability?
His patience.
Oh yeah. Remember like a long time ago when I still was talking about their abilities? Yeah, patience is basically his. Wait, am I still? Okay, whatever. Let's just get on with the fight. As I was saying,
Alright.
Ori gets tries to outmaneuver the different soul-based attacks, the different spells, the different nail arts, and you know he gets some hits in there. Then I get some hits in there. It's a pretty close and even fight. Now, I would somewhat imagine. I don't remember. It was a pretty damn long time ago since like I fully played Ori 2. But I don't think Nguyen has any acid lakes, so we can't utilize Ismas here. But I would say that eventually the fight gets to its semi-climax, where the knight just charges the crystal heart and just goes off into the forest. And Ori follows him because, again, they are pretty equal in speed.
Wait, can the crystal heart burn the forest?
No.
Oh, like a friend of mine recommended this. He states that as the climax, it would be like the forest being on fire.
Well, it's dumb. And it doesn't work even, because first of all, the knight has no fire attacks. The spells are soul-based, not fire or mana-based. And second of all, the crystal heart does not shoot out flames, it shoots out crystals. How are crystals supposed to fire a forest? They can't. That's why. Anyways, as the knight is flying through the forest and Ori is like jumping through different trees, like killing a bunch of enemies on his way to the knight. The knight finally like.
I'm adding the thing. The knight uses the crystal heart to
just go off into the forest and try to like escape, give some distance to himself against Ori. And Ori like follows him. He digs through the ground because he can do that. I did mention it. Who leaps through different vines and all of the wacky stuff you do in Ori.
Different vines.
And eventually, the knight would accidentally hit something and the Ori would catch up to him. But you know, since Ori just used a bunch of stamina to even catch up to the knight, before he can swing, the knight would use the dream nail and his Ori, going into his mind. And the knight and Ori would fight in Ori's mind. Now, this doesn't immediately go into the climax. There's like few minutes before the climax. So Ori and the knight just like start fighting on like okay, so I have to like kind of explain how the dream nail works. Because when you hit someone with it, you like go into their mind, which is basically like what they think. Like it's hard to say like what it is. Like they're like imagine like a room designed like by the theme of the person you're going into his mind. That's like where I'm going with this.
The forest.
So I feel like the most sense would be like on top of a giant tree, like on its on its like on its top, like
Where
tippy
giant,
top. They are fighting,
where the fight,
and
where the fight takes.
and they yeah, and in the background is I don't think you need to add this, but just a giant sun, which is the radiance, but like the knight doesn't know that, or he doesn't know that. It's just a cool detail. Anyways, the fight like escalates as it did in the forest until Ori eventually hits the knight with with his hammer and just cracks his mask a little bit and sends him down the tree. But the knight rises with all of the damn shadows and becomes the Shade Lord. And here's the climax.
That's
With Knight and now the Shade Lord, he like chases Ori, gives like Ori is batshit terrified of the Shade Lord. He runs away, all of that, until he's eventually cornered in the like at the end of the tree. He has nowhere to run, and he has to like stare down the Shade Lord. Now, as I said before, this fight goes very 50-50. So I can't really say like the definitive winner. So I will just give two versions.
Hold up. Someone said in the
And-
comments, how do you even kill the knight? Doesn't he just turn into a shade? Sometimes it just reads the mind.
Well, first of all, Steel Soul, and second of all, in the true ending of Hollow Knight, the knight like dies. Like he doesn't become a shade, he just dies. So yeah, argument disproved. Back to the fight. And for the like final attack, I would say Ori like just charges up like all of the light of Niwen and just like fires it Kamehameha style at the Shade Lord while he's trying to block it. Now, out of this, two endings can go. The ending where the Knight wins is basically the Shade Lord overpowers Ori's light beam and just completely covers his mind in darkness, giving the knight the.
That sounds so dark.
That is not dark. That is void. And the second ending is where Ori's like overpowers the Shade Lord and basically just erases him out of and therefore killing the knight from Ori's mind. And Ori just falls down on his back on the tree and just dies. Just a big relief. And since we are writing one script where there can be like parallel universes, Cowboy, I feel like you should do a poll of who wins.
We're really gonna copy from the
And-
Battlecast matchups.
Yes,
Wow.
but like we can. Dude, we're the reboot. Like, just do it. Again, it's like very 50-50. Both can win, but I feel like you can't really decide it on like on objective level. So like fuck it, let's give it to the people.
Alright, I start the poll.
You start the poll.
Yeah, I'm starting it.
Okay, and let's
This
give
will
it
decide
1 minute.
This decides on who is gonna which
Be
ending
the
is gonna
winner.
be picked.
Yeah. And by the way, how long have you been streaming? I don't even know.
It's been like 46 minutes.
Damn.
The mind.
Well, I gotta
Mind
bounce
comment
pretty
is-
soon.
Okay.
I gotta bounce pretty soon, like 10 minutes. So like 15-minute stream isn't bad, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
By the way, this stream was like Tempo talking for 95% of the time.
And then we just have
about
like
the
me
knight
being
and the Ori.
silent most of the time.
And like he gets interrupted like sometimes. He gets sometimes interrupted by the other hosts.
Someone just made this dialogue comment. Wow, you are dark, bitch. I'm made of darkness.
I'm not dark, I'm void. Oh, by the way, the Ori, he doesn't talk often, but he can talk. The Knight straight up
He
is
can?
like red, and Yeah, why wouldn't he? Like, yeah, they are animals, but like they can communicate with each other. But I wouldn't give Ori a lot of dialogue. I feel like he like pretty much near zero dialogue. But like I feel like a little snippet. But the knight, zero dialogue. He straight up can't talk. So you better remember that because like that's important and stuff.
All right, what do you say about the light
Anyways.
charge, like the charging, already charging his attack? I'm currently writing down.
Okay,
his max.
Okay, how's the poll?
Hold on. Do I end the poll now or?
Just give it like 30 more seconds.
Currently, Ori is winning
Ooh,
by
spicy.
67% votes.
Okay, I thought the knight would be winning because he's more popular and stuff, but like I guess not.
I think they want the good ending.
The good and I mean both of them are like amazing, so like how both of them dying is the bad ending for me because I love them both.
Yeah, but like legit, like when you mentioned like it feels so dark for the night winning since they basically get consumed, like Ori gets consumed by the darkness, by the void, destroying basically the
Well,
light.
yeah,
The forest is gonna die.
and if you want some epilogue for both winning, when the knight wins, he just wakes up. Ori is nowhere to be found, and he just strolls off, walks
And
off
then we
back
see,
to
and then
Hollow Nest.
like hours later, you just see the forest dying.
Yep, completely dead. And in Ori winning, Ori wakes up and he sees the knight's mask like cracked,
Broken,
like it's on the ground.
like the ending.
And then his owl brother comes up and they stroll off home. So yeah, these are like the two epilogues of the fight. Personally, my personal opinions on the matchup is genuinely fucking amazing. I really hope Death Battle does this in season 11 because
they
it would
come
be
back.
mega hype.
I mean, they are coming back.
They are 100%
Yeah,
not coping.
they-
Just
they-
like, hey,
We
hey,
need
if
glitch.
any of you if any of you watch, yeah, glitch. By the way, if any of you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, smash that like button if you think Nobara is coming back next chapter.
Bro, you're coping. You're coping. You're still coping.
Yeah, I know I'm coping, but she will come back. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, you can end the poll.
Ori wins by 66% of the vote.
Ori wins! Woo! Ori is the winner. I genuinely did not expect him to win, but he pulled a W. So yeah, the ending will be Ori just blasting the Shade Lord and killing him. Like, just imagine the end of Goku versus Frieza when Goku just turns around, blasts Frieza, and just like Frieza just fucking dies.
A massive beam of light.
Yeah. So Ori wins the good ending, but the bad ending for me because I love both.
The worst ending, Hollow Knight wins.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that is
You want to see the script?
sure. I mean, I can just click on it.
Yeah, just check it out. If tell me if I did anything wrong, because this is just
Okay.
like this is just giving the general idea. Like we can just polish this like during the stream or after.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel like I can look at it later after the stream. Anyways, that is honestly about it on Hori versus the Knight. And now, Cowboy tells us the next matchup featured on Scenario Battle.
The next matchup.
Season 1.
The next matchup will be Vilgax versus Ridley, apparently.
Ridley. It's Ridley, not Ridley.
I don't know how to say their name or something.
Ridley. Yeah, okay, next battle, Vilgax versus Ridley, Ben 10 versus Metroid.
Alright, I guess
I
have to
know a
research
little.
both series then.
I know nothing about Metroid, and I know some things about Ben 10. So I will be on Vilgax's side. So either you or Cormac need to research Metroid because I am not doing that.
Well, you're gonna appear in the next episode.
Well, summer is pretty close, so I will have a lot of free time.
You still have school?
Yeah, you don't?
Yeah, I ended like 4 days ago, man.
Are you fucking serious? I still have 2 weeks of school.
That's so sad.
Well, anyways, that is the end of the stream.
Wait, we're
Basically,
ending
we
the
have talked
stream?
over. I, I mean, not. It's the end of the thing. I have talked about everything there is to talk about. I have nothing left to say.
Huh. Normally, how the scenario
Uh,
battles work is we just sort of like talk about the potential, the fight potential. You know, like all you did was talk about the information about both characters. You know,
and like how the fight would go over.
yeah, like the potential, the fight potential, man.
I did. To be fair, I did talk about it a little, like
Yeah, you did.
how Ori and the Knight
You talk about the
could
climax.
clash. How
What about during the fight?
well, I already did talk about that.
Well, yeah,
To
but I
be
want to talk
fair,
about my ideas.
and what are your ideas? Please tell
So,
me.
so you know that attack? I forgot the fucking dash ability.
The cloak, like when he just
Hold on.
zooms.
I'm just gonna
No,
put the-
crystal heart.
No, the one
Do you
with
mean
the
crystal heart?
vengeful spirit. Right. No, hold on. Yeah, no, it's the cloak, the shade cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can have like a scene where like Hollow Knight, like you know Ori will just use an attack, and then Hollow Knight would just use the shade cloak to go through the attack, and then slash, and just goes behind, like kind of like those teleport behind you moment, and just slashes Ori.
Well, he has like the shade cloak, which again I already talked about this. It gives him invincibility. He can dash through like walls and enemies. And again, this is no Charms Knight, so we aren't giving him Shade Dash,
Damn.
which basically just gives him better range. And what do you mean, Ayo? What did I say?
What? I didn't say AO.
I heard from your mic. Don't lie to me.
Look, I didn't say AO. I think I said something else, man.
Well, whatever. Okay, so again, no Charms Knight, so he doesn't get Shade Dash. But again, Shade Cloak is enough to just like make like Ori like swing his. Let's take for example his spear on the knight. He just close through it and attacks his back.
Yeah,
That is a
that's
good
what I was-
idea,
yeah, that was what I was going for.
and that is a good idea. I gotta say.
But unfortunately, that can never happen since I don't know